Welcome back to Cat Grace Healing, where we dive deep into mental health and spiritual topics to help you feel seen, understood, and empowered. Today we are talking about complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or CPTSD. If you've ever felt like your past traumas are still haunting you in ways that go beyond the typical PTSD narrative, this video is for you. We will cover what CPTSD is, its causes, symptoms, paths to treatment, and recovery. And we'll also explore some spiritual and metaphysical perspectives on trauma and healing. Remember, I'm not a doctor. This is for educational purposes only. If this resonates, please consult a mental health professional. Let's get started. First things first, CPTSD is a type of trauma-related disorder that's similar to post-traumatic stress disorder, but with some key differences. While PTSD often stems from a single traumatic event like a car accident or natural disaster, CPTSD develops from prolonged, repeated trauma, usually in situations where escape feels impossible. Think childhood abuse, domestic violence, long-term captivity, or chronic neglect. The World Health Organization recognizes CPTSD as a distinct condition in the ICD-11, separate from PTSD. It's not just about reliving the trauma, it's about how that ongoing exposure reshapes your sense of self, relationships, and the world around you. So what leads to CPTSD? It's typically rooted in interpersonal trauma. Traumas that happen over months or years, often starting in childhood. Common causes include prolonged child abuse or neglect, where a caregiver, someone who's supposed to protect you, becomes the source of harm. Domestic violence or abusive relationships in adulthood, human trafficking, war zones, or refugee experiences. Chronic bullying, discrimination, or intentional institutional abuse. These aren't one-off shocks. They're repeated betrayals that erode your trust and safety. Genetics, early brain development, and lack of support systems can make someone more vulnerable. But anyone exposed to such environments can develop CPTSD. Now let's break down the symptoms. CPTSD includes all of the core PTSD signs like flashbacks, nightmares, hypervigilance, and avoidance, but adds layers of an emotional and relational challenges. Here's what it might look like. Emotional dysregulation, intense mood swings, feeling numb or detached, or explosive anger. You might struggle to calm down after triggers. Negative self-perception, deep feelings of shame, guilt, or worthlessness. Thoughts like, I'm broken, or I don't deserve good things. Relationship difficulties, trouble trusting others, fear of abandonment, or repeating toxic patterns in relationships. Somatic symptoms, physical issues like chronic pain, fatigue, or gastrointestinal problems tied to stress. Dissociation, feeling disconnected from your body or reality, like you're watching from life from afar. Hypervigilance and startle response, always on edge, scanning for threats. These can overlap with other conditions like borderline personality disorder or depression, which is why professional diagnosis is crucial. Diagnosing CPTSD involves a mental health expert assessing your history and symptoms. Tools like the International Trauma Questionnaire can help distinguish it from PTSD. If you've experienced long-term trauma and notice these patterns interfering with your daily life, work, relationships, or self-care, it's time to reach out. Early intervention can make a huge difference. Beyond the clinical lens, many people view CPTSD through a spiritual or metaphysical framework, seeing trauma not just as a psychological wound, but as something that impacts the soul, energy body, or deeper essence of who we are. For instance, complex trauma can be seen as a sacred dissonance, a profound disruption in our fundamental beliefs about the universe, divinity, or our place in it, often leading to a crisis of faith or a search for deeper meaning. From a metaphysical standpoint, repeated traumas might be interpreted as karmic lessons, soul contracts from past lives, or imbalances in energy centers like the chakras, particularly in the root chakra for safety and survival, the heart chakra for trust and love. Survivors often report mystical experiences during their healing journey, such as profound spiritual awakenings or connections to a higher power, which can serve as powerful resources for recovery. However, spirituality can also complicate things. For some, trauma exacerbates feelings of spiritual disconnection or even moral injury, where one's sense of right and wrong simply feels shattered. Incorporating spirituality into healing might involve practices like energy healing, Reiki, shamanic journeying, or connecting with nature to restore the wounded spirit. Mindfulness and meditation, rooted in traditions like Buddhism, are particularly helpful for CPTSD, as they address the deep conditioning of childhood trauma by fostering presence and self-compassion. The key is reconstructing a personal philosophy that counters the internalized shame and worthlessness, turning trauma into a catalyst for spiritual growth. Always remember, these perspectives complement professional therapy, not replace it. Integrating them can create a holistic path to wholeness. The good news? CPTSD is treatable. Recovery focuses on rebuilding safety, processing trauma, and developing healthy coping skills. Here are evidence-based approaches which can be enhanced with spiritual practices. Therapy. Trauma-focused therapies like eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or dialectical behavior therapy, DBT. They are gold standards. They help rewire trauma responses and build emotional regulation. Some therapists incorporate spiritual elements for a more integrated approach. Medication is an option. Antidepressants or anti-anxiety meds can manage symptoms like depression or hyperarousal, but they're often combined with therapy. Holistic methods, mindfulness, yoga, or somatic experiencing to reconnect with your body. Support groups like those from organizations such as Mind or the NHS can provide community. For a metaphysical twist, try guided visualizations or crystal healing to address energy blocks. self-care strategies, grounding techniques like the 5-4-3-2-1 sensory exercises, journaling, or building a safe routine. Start small, one deep breath at a time. Remember, healing is not linear. Setbacks are normal, but with support, many people reclaim their lives. There is hope. Thanks for watching this deep dive into CPTSD, now with added spiritual and metaphysical angles to broaden our understanding. If you're dealing with this, know you are not alone, and there's hope on multiple levels: mind, body, and spirit. Share your thoughts in the comments, respectfully of course, and hit that like button if this helped. Subscribe for more mental health and spiritual content. Seeking help is a sign of strength. Don't forget that. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.